up, guys? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is a pleasure to be here. Lots of good folks up in the side chat already. With that being said, I'm going to throw it to Alan to get us started in true fashion, if you would, sir.
Well, absolutely, absolutely. Welcome to another episode of Foreign and Domestic. Apparently, we're going to have topics tonight. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but we'll start off in usual fashion.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I stand.
All right. Now that a few kids have said that, something that Joe Biden doesn't know how to do, can't remember what the Pledge of Allegiance is. We will go ahead and list off what YouTube says is the side chat for the moment. That's Andy79, Z28, Mr. Sanchez out there, Chris 338, one Mr. Edward Petty, G23, the great gun-loving grandpa, Jerry Parker. We've got Joshua Brandenburg out there. The not in the room at the moment, Mario Mosen, the Patriot in the Dark, the one, the only interview king, the Outlaw Hatfield, the gun-toting pacifist, and also it is telling me that there's a YouTube auditor video or watching our every move, and that is not Gizzard Gary, but he is also out there. And so I'd like to give a special thank you for viewing, YouTube auditor. Thank you.
Awesome. Good deal. All right. With that being said, we got a couple different people on here. We'll start with Josh. How you doing, man?
What's up, y'all? Enjoying my beer mug, foreign and domestic, baby. How y'all doing? Just here.
Good to have you, man. Kingpin, how you doing, brother?
Doing all right, man. Thanks for having me. Good to see everybody in the panel. Hello to everybody in the chat.
Awesome. Always good to have you. Val, what's happening, brother?
Not much. Thank you for having me. I'm gonna be stuttering more than usual because I had a tooth taken out yesterday, whatever was left of it. So I'm kind of messed up. But yeah, I want to especially thank everybody that donated to my raffle for the 1911. So, and everybody that made the videos and sport videos and all that, thank you very much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much.
Awesome. Good deal. And guys, if you haven't seen that, there is a link down below. Please go check that out. And I do have that also scrolling across the bottom. So please, if you can help out, whether it be $5, $10, whatever you can do, please jump over and help out. We always stick together. We always step up to the plate. So much appreciated, guys. So
Mario's asking for a link.
Kingpin, you had some topics, brother. What you got?
Depends on which way you want to go. We can go with the leftists attacking Amy Coney Barrett for adopting some kids from Haiti. We can talk about the police resource officer tasing that woman for not having a mask. Man, what else did I have? There's all kinds of stuff out there that'll drive people crazy.
Dwayne Johnson.
So Amy Barrett being attacked, that's not surprising one bit. They jumped on that super fast. We all expected it. Didn't know what they were going to go with, but now we know.
Of course they hit her for her religious beliefs, but they would never do that to a Jew, a Hindu. God forbid they say something negative about a Muslim. Just the fact that she's a Christian and that she's a Catholic, it's free reign to attack her. So, that's the whole religious end. And it's really funny to me that the Democrat Party and the left are attacking someone who adopted 2 children from Haiti, who ended up turning out to be pretty stellar kids, from what I understand. The girl was very unhealthy when she was young. Now she's a healthy track star, and I'm sure you've seen her, in the press conferences. A very healthy woman that runs track. And Hillary Clinton. I mean, we all know what Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation did in Haiti. They raised a bunch of money and stole every bit of it, and destroyed a bunch of those little shanty towns that were already destroyed in Haiti. So it's just really funny that the left is going to attack her on that.
Yeah, well, it's not surprising. Everybody kind of expected that. They had a funny memes about that, way before he announced who it's going to be. So everybody expected Democrats to do that.
Yeah, a gun-toting pacifist says it out there. That, Pelosi is always beating on the door. I'm a good Catholic, blah 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 blah. But now, I mean, they're gonna go after somebody for their religion. It really doesn't amaze me in any way, shape, or form, because they completely ignore the Constitution entirely. So why would they not go after somebody's religion if it's anything but, like you were saying, Scotsman, if it was a Hindu, if it was a Jew or Kingpin, if it was anything else, Catholic, Christian, they're all the enemies.
So much for freedom of religion, right?
That's a myth.
Well,
it's
they're going after everything that they can possibly go after to destroy the Constitution. So freedom of religion is positively one of the mainstays that anybody that doesn't know the Constitution understands that that's one of the things that is protected with your constitutional rights.
Well, it probably doesn't help that she come out and said, "I love the Constitution."
Yeah, they really hate her for that.
Well, they want to focus on the religion thing and many other subjects. They're putting the focus on that because they do not want the focus to be on the fact that she's going to be the most pro-gun justice on that entire panel, more so than any we've ever had, more so than Kavanaugh, more so than, this is going to be leaps and bounds. If she gets on there, I mean, they're not going to be happy about that, especially that. And they probably don't want to bring that up because you get a bunch of Republicans saying, yeah, we want, really rallying for her and pushing the Senate towards her and everything, speaking their voice, then she's going to go through, but if they make it all about women's rights and this, that, and the other, you do have some conservatives that don't want religion to have anything to do with the Supreme Court, and so if they keep the focus on that rather than saying, hey, she's hardcore pro-gun, this, that, and the other, then they're going to, sway people's attention from something that will really grab everybody and have them gravitate towards her and back her, So I think that's their ultimate goal, is to keep the attention on the religious stuff, because there is some religious people some people that aren't religious that are right wing,
Yeah, I would like to know, what about all those people that were claiming, oh, if he nominates anybody in his tenure, it's going to be civil war. It doesn't matter who it is. If he decides he's going to nominate somebody during his election year, then it's going to be civil war.
Yeah, because he didn't respect the dying wishes of the last judge. But then again, they brought a video of her speaking from 5 years ago, saying that it's the president's job to nominate a Supreme Court judge. So,
I'm still waiting for the impeachment. They said they were gonna. She said Pelosi was gonna impeach him again. Impeach him for what? Doing his job?
Yeah. Well, now they kind of betting on a Biden horse. They think he's gonna win. So she says he's not even worth impeaching. But I guarantee once Trump's gonna get reelected, they're gonna work another impeachment again. It's gonna be BS, and that shit's not gonna change. I mean, Pelosi's freaking 80 years old. What the hell is she's still doing there? Unless we're gonna get the term limits. I keep saying it every time. Term limits on every goddamn public office. That's it. Nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna change. We cannot have a career politicians. Being in the politics, it should not be a career. How in your right mind can you vote for Biden? How can you say anything positive about him? He's been there for 4 decades, and he doesn't have a shit to show for it.
Almost 5 decades and nothing to show for it. Yeah, it's sad. Absolutely sad. Gunsnob out there asking to plug Gizzard Gary. If you guys don't know Gizzard Gary, please do me a favor, jump over, support him. He is almost to 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome. And Gary's a good dude.
Kingpin threw the link out in the side chat for Gizzard, and yeah, Gizzard Gary is a guy that I've known for a while, and even had some pizza delivered to him at one point. So yeah.
Were your ears burning earlier, Alan?
I couldn't quite tell. Why was that?
We were having a discussion this morning about Janice Gay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why anybody would want to talk about Jan.
Oh, there was someone out there talking about changing her name, and you came up.
Hey, Scotsman. Hey, Scotsman. Mario was in the side chat earlier, and he was asking for a link to get onto the chat.
All right, we got Jamie's supposed to be showing up here shortly, so.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
so
glad to see Bearded CB jumped in out there. Yeah, I actually met up with Bearded CB. He gave me a tool in order to do the 22 by 22 challenge. But I literally just haven't even had a chance to get out to the range this weekend. It's been raining half the time. Yeah, and Gizzard Gary does a live show called Foul Territory. It's not called Foul Territory because I was his first guest. It's not that kind of foul.
It's pretty bad though. You don't want to check it out. It's pretty rough.
Well, for gorillas and guns out there, I gotta let them know that I'm sporting his shirt, Shea Gorilla.
There you go.
Just to let him know I'm supporting his channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a shameless plug in too, right here. Where's the camera? Shameless plug in. Head is holsters. He sent me a care package, and I gotta put a video together for him. Go check him out. He's got a couple of new awesome holsters.
Yeah.
I
By
got
the
one
way,
ordered. Should be here this week.
the mono blocks that he's
Yep.
putting on his new holsters, I have them on all my holsters now. They are badass. I know we can't show our guns on the live stream, so I had to take it out. So, but
You can.
Yeah. This is the Scotsman's channel.
This is a
So
freedom
I've
chat.
got
I
an
don't give a shit.
LC9S Pro in my waistline.
There's no freedom held back here.
CZ Live for Uncle Dan if he's out there.
I got a pin, which is mightier than sword.
I mean,
Vince
that's
Todd
kind of
was getting
true.
all excited. He thought you were going to take your shirt off when you were showing that you were wearing Gorilla's shirt.
Go ahead, Kingpin.
Bald was saying that the pen is mightier than the sword, and right now that's more true than it's ever been. Because if you think about it, voting is far more dangerous than any firearm could ever be. Even in the hands of a bad guy that does bad things with them, voting can change everyone's life. Whereas opposed to, if a bad guy robs you or shoots you, it's you and your friends that are affected. People who have no idea who you are aren't affected by that. Your vote will affect people who you're never going to meet and you never know exist. So it's definitely true. The pen is definitely mightier than the sword.
So I didn't hear the story. I'm not sure what the story is, but apparently a whole bunch of mail-in votes were found in the garbage in where? New Hampshire or something?
Florida. It was Florida.
Well, in New Jersey, they found a whole bunch of them in a ditch. A whole bunch of mail, including a whole bunch of ballots, just thrown in a ditch.
That's
So
your
what do
United
y'all
States
think about-
Postal Service. It's best.
What do y'all think about the post office way of doing this? So the post office came out, they got two different envelopes, trying to make it secure. And basically they're saying if one of those envelopes is not present, then it's not counted.
I don't know. I read somewhere that there's like a barcode or something, and based on that, they can tell whether it's a Democratic or Republican vote. So there's gonna be a lot of shady shit going on. I mean, they're saying there's like 0.0002% chance on a voting fraud. I'm like, I don't know who the hell took that poll.
I mean,
Point
if it just
zero
goes by-
zero two.
it
That's
goes by what you're registered as. So, maybe if I just register as a Democrat, then my mail-in ballot will be just fine. But no, screw that. I'm not going to be mailing in. I will be in person doing mine.
Yeah, absolutely 100% encourage you to do it in person.
Well, you see that the lefties have already started flip-flopping and going against the mail-in ballots. All last week, all the lefties were coming out talking about, I don't know about mail-in ballots. Maybe we should have secure and blah, blah, blah. So suddenly they're interested in a free and fair election.
There's absolutely no reason why we should not have a in-person vote, other than that you're really sick or you're old, you gotta vote from home. Okay, I understand that, but there's absolutely no reason. The freaking Cerveza virus is bullshit. Everybody freaking knows that. So I don't understand why the state is still shut down and they keep going crazy because 16 people on a riding the bus, a school bus, whatever, they tested positive. Okay, so they tested positive. 2 weeks from now, they're gonna be okay. It's not like they freaking dying. I mean, they're acting like the goddamn people are dropping like flies left and right. That shit just drives me nuts.
All of it is about destroying the economy because they know the only thing that's going to hurt Donald Trump is if the economy would have tanked. Nobody cares. As much as people complain and cry about his Twitter account and how mean and rude he is, nobody really cares about that. We might hear a few people, but the vast majority of Americans love it when he trolls them on the Twitter. Love it. Love his internet game. Love his attitude. We all begged and screamed for that kind of person for years and years and years to be in the White House. If they can destroy the economy, that's Trump's number one thing. Beyond law enforcement, beyond military, beyond everything is his economic prowess. That's another reason why they want your schools closed. Because if mom and dad can't go to work because they got children at home, that's going to hurt their bottom line. Somebody's going to lose their job. Somebody's going to get paid less, and that's going to hurt the economy. And they failed at that too. They tanked the economy, and then when you go look at the numbers, it's a V-shaped recovery, and it's been recovered. The stock market has already passed beyond where it was. Now it's falling back down because that's how the stock market does. consumer sentiment, all the way across the board, even unemployment. They're setting records on jobs being created and people going back to work, even though there's a ton of people still on unemployment. But there's a lot of tricks to that unemployment. You can have a full-time job and still file for unemployment right now. People don't know that. You can have a part-time job and file for unemployment right now. So a lot of the unemployment numbers aren't exactly people without jobs. There are tons, I'm not saying that there's not, but there's a good spattering of those unemployed people who actually still have jobs.
Yep, absolutely. Millstrip Mike's up there. Does Biden test positive for COVID right before the debate? I think he's probably going to fall sick before the debate. And then, more than likely, if somehow he makes it in the office the day after he swears in, he's got to drop that from COVID.
Could be.
And then Harris will take over.
Yeah,
We'll be
there's been so much talk, not only from him, from Harris, from many other sources, that it wouldn't be a Biden administration, it'd be a Harris administration.
Well, did you see his one comment of she's ready to take over office on day one?
Yeah, and he's made numerous references, not as quite direct as that one, but that's a direct quote from the man. He's not physically or mentally capable of being president.
I don't know. You think they would come up with an amendment that has something to say about that, like the amount of time that the president has to be in office before the vice president can take over. It shouldn't be like that to where, because really when it comes to, okay, so if he gets in office and he gets sick or whatever the first month and can no longer do his, presidential duties, and Kamala takes over, that shouldn't, I don't know, just to me, I don't think that should fly. I don't think that's right at all. No matter Republican or Democrat, I don't care. Either way, I think that's wrong, because that's not who you voted for that's in office. Kamala actually got the lead. I mean, she got pretty much the least amount of votes out of all the main candidates that made it far, the top 10. When it comes down to it, so I don't know.
She actually dropped out before the first votes were cast. So in all she got the lowest in all the polling, but when actual voting started, she had already dropped out. That's how bad of a candidate she was. And remember,
there's a real good chance that will happen right there, Rich. You're exactly right.
She said that her problem with becoming president, she said electability, because racism. Now, excuse me, Kamala, only Democrats were voting for you at this time. So it goes right back to what we've always said. You want to find a bunch of racists, go look at the Democrats. There they go. You're looking for white supremacists, you're looking for black supremacists and other kinds of stupid racists, just look at a Democrat, and there you go.
Yeah, and the other side to that too is if they hold off long enough and don't announce one, then in the interim, Pelosi takes office. And we're all screwed.
Yeah.
There's not been enough talk about that either, that, if they hold off the vote long enough to where, we're still counting numbers and stuff. I forget exactly what the date is, but if it's not done by a certain date, then the Speaker of the House takes over in the interim until they figure it out.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm not saying in the first month that you jump in the order, the chain of command, that's not what I was saying. I was saying there needs to be a complete freaking revote, altogether. If the president can't make their first month or whatever that term is, if they can't make their first month of performing their presidential duty, aside from an assassination, because that's people would, but I'm saying if they were sick or whatever the case may be, and they couldn't perform to a certain amount of period, whatever that amendment we made was, it wouldn't just jump down to Pelosi. I think there should be like a complete revote. Even if the person that won was Democrat and it was just Democrats that you were voting on, you know, that was the only choices and you had to start over from there. Even that, you know, something I don't have like a complete thought about this, a complete you know, or about anything in general, but
No. What about Cortez, Ocasio, whatever the hell the fucking name is, Cortez coming out saying that Biden will be basically a puppet. He will be the easiest one to manipulate.
She's
Well,
right.
and his track record kind of already proves that. He's been bought for decades. So I mean, if you go by his track record, follow the money line. That's all. That's how you get. That's how you get Biden. You just follow the money line. He's been bought and paid for decades.
Well, that's one of the biggest problems I've been thinking about lately is just use Joe Biden, for example. For 47 years, he's been proved that he's a liar. He's been proved that he's a criminal. It's been proved that he's a snake, and it's been proved that he's ineffective. But he's been in government for 47 years. So you know what's Biden's looking at all the people complaining about him and laughing in their faces, going, I got away with it for 47 years, you dummies.
Hey,
What's up,
Jamie.
Jamie,
Hey, fellas, how y'all?
how you doing?
Evening, Jamie.
I'm all right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes,
can hear you.
sir. You get a haircut, you look slick.
Do what?
I say you get a haircut, you look slick, man.
Yeah, I try to get a haircut every once in a while. So
What about that one? That's a very good one right there. He was in front of, I believe it was Air Force, and told him to clap, you stupid bastards.
Yeah, because he said something and nobody did anything.
Yeah, Biden was in front of, I believe it was Air Force, and finished his speech and stands there, and no one's doing anything. And he goes, "Clap, you stupid bastards."
Now he actually said that about. I saw that he actually truly said that. Even if he was joking, regardless, doesn't matter. And they made up what Trump said. Joe Biden doesn't care about that. Nobody on his side cares about that. That's why I've been flipping out about this whole Supreme Court thing. We're supposed to be nice to these people who want us dead. And I'm not being hyperbolic. You think about if Nancy Pelosi could have her way, what would she do with all of us? You know, lock us in prison, put us in ultimate poverty, or put us in the graveyard because they have disdain for all of us. All of us are Donald Trump. Whether you like Trump, whether you hate Trump, whether he's orange man good or orange man bad, if you're not on their side 100%, you are Donald Trump, and they hate you. That's why they hate Donald Trump. He's going to be gone. Nancy Pelosi and AOC might be maniacs, but they're politically not stupid. They know the president only has 4 to 8 years. Sooner or later, he'll go away. We ain't going nowhere. You know, that's why we've got to prepare. They should have been preparing 3 years ago for post-Trump. What are we going to do after Donald Trump? Because if we let the Democrats have it, we're going to get destroyed. If we let a bunch of fake rhinos have it, all these nasty politicians are going to punish us for the past 4 coming up 8 years. They're going to get their revenge on us if we don't be careful.
Yeah, but it's not.
There was a big push. How are we gonna fix it from Obama? How are we gonna get away from the trend that Obama had created over the last 8 years? And so we end up with Donald Trump, and so many people relaxed, and it wasn't the time to relax at all.
time to put the hammer down. I personally think Mike Pence is primed and ready to follow Donald Trump.
I think Pence would be a good one.
It's not just the Democrats. I mean, you got crooked Republicans. Look at Romney. He might as well be Democrat. You know, and you got a bunch of other ones as well. So it's like this whole two-party system is not the greatest thing in the world because, you know, you get the choice from two evils. Which one's worse? or which one's better. That's about it. You don't get. You should get more options. You know?
Well, can I address that for a second? My son and stepsons have been proponents for at least a 3-party system in this country for a long time. They were that when they first got active in politics, when they hit the voting age, which is 18 here, they were very libertarian, and they've since moved over to the Republican side because they've seen that it's hard to get a third party off the ground and running and winning elections. But here in Georgia, you know, there's a Senate race this year. Both of our Senate seats are up for election. And we have a Democrat and Republican in both cases. And in one case, we have a third party candidate who's running as an independent. And he happens to be the pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta. And I don't know how familiar y'all are, but does Ebenezer Baptist Church ring a bell to anybody?
Nope.
That was the church
Yeah.
that the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King was the pastor of. Kingpin knew it. Go ahead, Kingpin.
Oh no, I was just late. Go ahead. I was just late on the mute button.
But yeah, he's I wish I could remember his name, but it's a kind of funny name. He grew up in Savannah, grew up in the projects, and Big Al got it. So yeah, AR Guns, he's from Georgia, so naturally he's going to be very aware of Ebenezer Baptist Church. That's a cultural icon in Atlanta. And I think he's going to do pretty well in Atlanta, but in the rest of the state, I don't think he's going to win. But I think he will carry the districts in Atlanta. Maybe enough to even get a Democrat elected, but I don't think so. See, in Atlanta, which is typical of a lot of states, and y'all chime in and tell me if it's that way where you live, but we seem to have very liberal, big centers of like big cities are fairly liberal. And then when you get out into the countryside where fewer people live per capita for the square miles or whatever, you're a lot more conservative. That's your conservative base.
You know why? Because whenever you got big cities and a lot of people together, you got a lot more freeloaders. That's why Democrats are in power there, because all these people are going to keep voting Democrats because they're throwing them free shit. People don't understand that they're getting peanuts, that if they actually work and apply themselves, they can have a lot better life. But that's the way they were brought up, probably second generation, and they just like it. You know what? That's enough for us to survive. Government handouts, this and that. If you go out into the country like what I am, shit doesn't work like that. You have to work for a living. Nobody hands you shit. You know, a lot of people are self-employed and whatnot, so you're hustling. You know, that's why almost every major city is a liberal cesspool.
Yeah, but a lot of people under the Trump administration got their blinders taken off there, because when he first got elected, he said he was going to cut welfare and he was going to cut food stamps and cut a bunch of government assistance. And people were like, "Oh my gosh, we're all going to starve. We're going to riot, all this stuff." What happened to those people that had their assistance cut? They went out and got jobs and lived better lives. You know, the brainwashing is, and it's an evil thing. I'm going to give you guys money. You don't have to worry about working. I'll cover your insurance. I'll do all these things for you, but you got to keep me in office. Now, if you get me out of office, all that stuff's going to be taken away from you. You don't, all these mean people are going to put you in poverty. You won't. The best that I can squeeze out of the government is this little EBT card, and if I can't squeeze that out of them, your family's going to die. And a lot of people believed that until they were faced with it, and what they did was they adapted. They went out and got jobs and lived better lives.
Yep. I mean, there's absolutely no reason why people should be on a welfare other than, okay, you hurt or you temporarily need help because you lost a job. I mean, I came here with a freaking $400 in my pocket, and I was never on welfare. I was never on assistance, and I made it. So there's absolutely no reason. I mean, you don't take and tell me because you're from project, blah blah blah. That's bullshit. I came here. I shared a house with 7 other guys, 2 of us per room, so we can save on rent and whatnot. So there's a will, there's a way, and every one of them motherfuckers was already born with a golden ticket because it was born in the greatest country on earth. End of story.
No. And Val's right, man. Heck, I came here with only a few $100 too, and you can make it. It's doable. You got to knuckle down.
That's the 2 safety nets that America has that no other place on the planet ever had until we invented it, and none of them can even touch us now. We have the one safety net is the American dream. You can come here with nothing and become something. But if you happen to fail, there's a government there that will help you out. That's a small little tiny niche of stuff that's supposed to be there. It's for people who really, really, truly get in a bad spot and need it, and it's better than anywhere. Once we've decided to manipulate it and make it a mass distribution type of thing, is why we're in our situation now. It's now why they flip out. Oh, you can't cut this, you can't cut that. It's all people have. Well, that's not the safety net. That's somebody holding your hand. If you fail, the United States is here to help you. Not to mention the fact that we're the most charitable country. If you add all the other countries up for their entire history, what we've done in the 19th century alone, the 20th century alone, totally destroys every other nation that's ever existed in all history combined for compassion and helping the downtrodden. We made that possible. The reason that kids in Ethiopia aren't dying is because America is a thing. If America wasn't a thing, Ethiopia, oh my goodness.
And I think that's the one thing that has kept us going as long as we have. I think when we stop being the great benevolent country that we are, I think the Lord will take his protective hand off of this country. And because look what we've done, man. Look what this country's done against him. And I don't want to preach a sermon, but
No, preach it, man.
I mean,
People need to hear it.
well, we've killed what, 2 million unborn babies since 1977 or 72, whenever that was passed. There's a prayer that was prayed at the Missouri State Senate opening, and I wished I had a copy. I'd tell you, but basically we've took advantage of our poor and called it the lottery. We've rewarded laziness and called it welfare, and it goes on. People were getting up and walking out of the Senate chambers because they got their toes stepped on. But, you know, you got to do what's right. When you do what's right and you care about people and you love people, and you'll never go wrong helping somebody out. Never.
The most hated groups in this country, we talked about it a little earlier, Christians of faith and conservatives. And when you look at the statistics on charitable giving, it's all coming from some type of pretty much Christian-based organizations. I'm not saying that Jewish and Hindu don't, but the vast majority of it's coming from a Christian-based organization or a conservative or both. When you look at what the Democrats do, they ask him all the time, hey, Bernie, why didn't you donate this? Well, that's not my problem. They asked him, well, you made $1 million off your book. Are you going to give any of that out? His answer was, you can go write a book too. That's what the guy who wants to take all your paychecks away and give it to people who don't deserve it said. He didn't want to give any of his paycheck away.
And I think one of the other things too, and I've seen this over the years, and I know Val has too, is that America doesn't seem to be proud anymore. The pride of America and the Americans has just dropped over the years. It's crazy. It's sad. It's really freaking sad.
It's sad, but
people refusing to stand and all the rest of it. When I was growing up and saw America and all that, man, everyone was freaking proud and go get up. Now it's all that BS. It's ridiculous. Absolutely freaking ridiculous.
And you can see it. You can see it in schools. My wife worked for schools, and it's when 10-year-old kid can say that he's not gonna stand for Pledge of Allegiance or he don't want to say it. That's just wrong on so many freaking levels because they're just not being taught. They're not being taught history. They're not being taught to be proud of their own country. It's sad but true.
Well, I won't go on too long because I could talk about it for the next 3 weeks. But I've been saying it over and over again. They're coming for your children. They've always been coming for your children, but now it's a full-blown frontal assault on all your children, all of them, from college all the way down to preschool. That's why, like Scotsman was saying, the pride is gone. It was indoctrinated out of them. They're teaching little white kids that they're racist just because they're born white. They're teaching little black and brown kids that they can't do nothing without these racist white people helping them. You need a whole bunch of help from the people who are supposed to be racist. They got their foot on your neck, but those are the people that are going to help you out. So I don't have any children, and I generally don't buy into you shouldn't talk about it since you don't have kids nonsense. There's a few things that I can understand that, but in general, just because I don't have kids doesn't mean that I'm not right. They're coming for your children.
And it all goes back to what Jamie was saying earlier, I believe, is you rename everything that's evil, you give it a different name and make it not look so evil anymore. It used to be called pornography, now it's called adult entertainment. It used to be called alcohol, now it's called adult beverages. Every single thing, they rename everything to make it look like it's not such a big deal.
The KKK, it used to be the KKK, now it's Antifa and BLM.
Well, that's the definition of blasphemy. A lot of people say, saying GD or calling God out by his name is blasphemy. That's not what blasphemy is. Blasphemy is calling good evil or calling evil good. And like Josh was saying, when you call porn adult entertainment, when you call all this other stuff, we call riots unrest. No.
Yeah, when you call riots a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
When you call strip clubs a shoe show.
Gentleman's lounge, sir.
Gentleman's club.
Now, what about
the brought to you by Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew for when being a fat guy just isn't enough.
I think that's actually their new slogan.
Yeah, I love that term, mostly peaceful. Yeah, mostly peaceful.
What about the Rock, Dwayne Johnson endorsing the Biden? There's like a whole video. He's like talking to the Kamala and Biden, and I'm like, that guy lost me when he posted on Instagram about supporting BLM, and right there I was clicked. That said, I'm done with you, motherfucker. As much as I had respect for you for being a good athlete and whatnot, you just lost my fucking respect. I'm never watching a fucking movie with you in it. And now the stunt that he pulled with this shit, and they just used him because he's popular. He's got a big social media presence, and he's just a puppet. Even the questions he was asking, I mean, I guarantee that shit was scripted.
I saw a real funny video. I'm sorry, Scotsman, you want to say something?
No, you're good. Go ahead, man.
I saw a pretty funny interview that Kamala, I say her name different every single time on purpose, Kamala Harris did with, I can't think of this evil, racist woman from MSNBC or CNN. And she asked her, who's your favorite rapper alive? Kamala Harris said again, Tupac. And then the girl was like, oh, you girl, you go. We know you mean alive in our hearts. And started joking around about it. And Kamala kept going, I keep doing that. I keep doing that. Well, if you keep doing that, how do you not know Tupac died 20 years ago? I mean, she couldn't name one current rapper. And who cares about that? The fact that you're asking a black woman about her favorite rapper. Now, this is an attorney general, a senator, a very distinguished professional political career, and you're asking her about 2020 rappers.
I gotta stop you. Distinguished?
Well, I mean, if you look at it on paper, she got up to the where she got. We know how she got there, but if you just look at it on paper, then she's supposedly at the top of her game. Now she's a vice presidential candidate, and the only questions you can ask her about is pandering to. Does every black person love rap music? Is that what you're trying to say? Not to mention, she's not even black.
Exactly. I was gonna say that. Should have asked her if she likes the watermelon flavor too.
Well, she's half Jamaican, and Jamaicans are from Africa, from what I know. They settled there from Africa, so she is black. She's not African American though.
On her commencement speech or whatever they call it, when you induction, she's listed under Indian American, as in Indian country, because that's where her mother's from.
Yeah, her mother is from India. Her dad is from Jamaica.
So right now she's a African American woman because it's convenient.
Excellent film, by the way. Excellent film.
Now, if you're a white guy and you came from South Africa, are you still African American?
Yeah, I mean, if you're from Russia and you come to America, are you an Asian American? Yeah, you're from Asia.
Yeah, if you're honest, then yes. But these people who will talk about African American forget the entire north part of the continent. They don't consider Egyptians African Americans. They don't consider Libyans African Americans, Moroccans African Americans.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I was actually just about to bring that up. Yeah, her father wasn't just straight Jamaican. He was biracial, and her dad's side of the family owned slaves. So, you know, where's the animosity and the hatred and for Kamala, because she's just a person of color?
But remember, you ain't black if you don't vote for them. So, you know.
Well, plus her father even came out against her and was like, "Look, she's crazy. I don't support her."
Well, I think what you're going to see in this coming election with the increase in gun sales, particularly in the African American community, I think you're seeing a shift in the black community away from liberalism into more conservative ideas.
Traditionally,
certainly hope it goes conservative. The pendulum can swing however it's motivated. And you know, we've also seen a lot of what some would consider extremist groups coming out of the black community as well.
And Patriot in the Dark brings up an excellent point, man. It doesn't matter where you're from, what color, straight up, it should just be straight, you're American. That's it. Calling out race and everything else, that's not right by any means.
Traditionally, if you look at the black family is a conservative juggernaut. They believe in the family unit. They're highly religious Christians again. They believe in all the different kinds of things that's completely antithetical to what the Democrats tell them they believe in. But just throughout the years of, you know, Republicans are racist and they only care about the corporate white man, you know, you pound that into somebody's head for the past 50 years and they vote against their actual family unit.
I have some customers that are literally straight from Africa, like just, they're not even citizens yet in America, and they are wealthy. I mean, I'm not rich, wealthy, like, you know, several $1 million houses, you know, own several big businesses. I mean, and they aren't even, they're not even citizens yet. So, but yeah, I mean, no matter where you come from, but it tends to, I tend to see a lot of people that move here from a foreign country, you know, they tend to be the most successful people. You know, they tend to have, you know, businesses, their own businesses, entrepreneurs, you know, making big money, doing really well. So, and it's not white people usually.
Well, statistically, that's 100% true. If you look at African immigrants and we'll go from the 20th century to now, they're some of the most successful people in our country. Like Josh was saying, they're doctors, they're business owners, they're corporate CEOs. They got things going on, and they're straight from Africa. They're not born in America, 3, 5, 26, 120 generations of American. They're fresh into our country, and they're highly, highly successful.
Well, let's talk about something absolutely American. What's absolutely American? A bourbon. So this is, I just made the video live. This is what I shot today. The hat I'm wearing, Taconic Distillery. This one is maple flavor, 115 proof. Now this is not a cheap stuff. This is for like a good occasions and whatnot. This is about, I think it was 50 or 60 bucks a bottle. He gave us a bottle of the regular bourbon, just as a part of the entry fee. And then I bought this. You know, we got the hat, nice shirt, got a nice glass. So I'm gonna give you my very first impression.
Is that the booze that you and Alan are going to go on round 2 with?
Oh, he can't handle this shit. This stuff is smooth.
I don't think Alan needs another round of that. I honestly don't know if he would survive.
He
barely made it on last one.
I might not have a relationship afterwards, but
Yeah, she took care of you big time.
Yeah, I was so worried about y'all. I was worried about you, Jan. Shit, I knew Bob would be okay. I still checked up on him, but Jan, fuck, man. Like I went back and watched again, and I was like, was he dead?
John,
I didn't notice it the first time, but when I went back and watched the live chat all the way to the end, I saw your chick's hand come in and like grab your chest, like right at the end. I was like, oh, okay, someone was there. You remember that, right?
No, I don't remember that at all. I only remember it because I had to watch the live chat. I had to watch the playback. You know, but yeah, if it made Val's mouth go after he took his drink, that's got to be good stuff, huh, Val?
It's really good stuff. I just wish what I gotta do is stick it in the freezer so I don't have to dilute it with the ice.
I just wish you would have a glass and give us a true review without that ice or it being frozen or whatever. Just get the full flavor and the full experience of what the bourbon is supposed to be. We got water out there, and I want to say congratulations to Scott on a fine victory by his Tennessee Volunteers in Columbia, South Carolina on Saturday evening.
What happened?
But yeah, man, when it comes to this bourbon thing, the whole put it in the freezer, throw ice in it, that's just diluting and it's covering up the full flavors of the bourbon that the distiller intended to be in there.
I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just for me, it's got to be cold. So if I throw it in the freezer, I don't have to dilute it, and it kind of thickens up. I don't think it really takes any flavors away. You know, not that much. It's just when it's warm or room temperature, I just can't. It just tastes like crap. It's got to be cold. When it's cold, it just hits my taste buds at the right angle.
Well, let me say this in response to that. I understand. I get it. The best whiskey to drink or the best bourbon to drink, and the best way to drink it is however you like it. This is America. You paid your money for it, so
Yeah, and the guy that
Just
owns the distillery is a big Second Amendment supporter, veteran supporter, all that. He's like a real good guy. So when local club that I used to shoot like weekly shoots, they raised the prices, and when the COVID started, they didn't want to host anything. He just sent massive email. Everybody who wants to shoot, come to my house, no charge. He's got a private range. I mean, he's a wealthy guy, but I mean, talking to him and seeing him dressed and whatnot, I mean, he doesn't look like anything. You know, he doesn't look like a real wealthy guy. I got to meet Robert Trump, God rest his soul. And when I met him, he was driving a beat up old pickup truck, and he looked like a freaking farmer, like a regular guy.
yeah, PCC kid at room temperature. Big Al says the cold makes the atoms get fat and slow. It has more aroma and taste.
Oh, so
Yeah.
he's talking about 45 cal, right? Fat and slow. It's that's a 45.
I can see how you would say that. Yeah.
Or
maybe I'll do one of those
47,
blows
but-
that you treat. Either way, it's a good stuff.
As long as you enjoy it, that's all that matters.
Yep. And I even bought a bottle of gin that they make for my wife because she's a big gin girl. Well, not big. I mean, we can't have two drunks in the family. Somebody got to be sober. Heat liberates the aromatics, Mr. Gabriel. Okay. Yeah, so when I finish this glass, next one I'll just do without the ice, and we'll see.
Just put 2 drops of water in it, and it'll help bring the flavor out. That's it.
And don't swirl it. Just let it marinate for a second. That'll release some of those bottled up, cooped up flavors and aromas. What proof did you say that was, Val?
115, 59.5%, 115 proof. They had 95 and they had a 115, so I went for 115. Let me try this.
That's double barreled and maple flavored.
Yep, double barrel maple flavor. Straight bourbon whiskey barreled with New York maple syrup.
Oof.
How
So
important?
it's anti-gun maple syrup.
This is supposed to be like #1 bourbon in New York, like 4 years in a row.
How important are the glasses? Like, I think we might have talked about this before. Like, with certain beers out of certain glasses. Is it the same way with liquor? If you drink it out of a certain glass, if wine and champagne, if you drink it out of a paper cup versus a fancy little thing or a shot glass or whatever, does that make a difference?
It does for me.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
I'm
it's gonna make-
drinking bourbon, I want this type of glass. Okay. When I'm doing mixed drink, then it could be taller glass and shaped differently. I know that when you drink like a cognac or something like that, then you want like fat bottom and skinny on top, so you preserve the aroma in there and you stick your nose in it every time. That's just me. And tequila, we just do shots. But then you have the whole thing for the wine too. That red wine's got to be in the big glass. White wine should be in a skinny glass. I guess there's a whole science to it.
I mean, no matter how you drink your liquor, cold, warm, no matter what kind of glass it's out, all that stuff is good. You're fine. Just if you drink beer warm, then you are not American. Then you're Euro. that is one rule.
Yeah, you travel the world over, pretty much nowhere other than America serves beer cold. America serves beer cold. Nobody else does.
That's not true. I had beer in England, in London. They brought it cold. They didn't bring it freaking warm.
About 40 degrees.
Is that like if you go to, just making up something, Germany and order a Budweiser, they're going to bring it out warm? Or is it, I don't drink, so I don't know any of this stuff. Or
That's
is
the
it
problem.
like a good Achtenbacher or something German name? And does it, is there a difference? Do they serve cheap beer warm too?
I don't know. I mean,
No.
back when I'm from, nobody drinks a warm beer.
I don't know that you can buy a Budweiser in Germany. I just don't know.
That's what I was wondering.
Beer's supposed to be drank at room temperature.
Yeah, but that's based on a freaking
Not here.
England and Scotland. And room temperature over there is like 40 degrees.
Yeah, it's a wine
want
cellar.
none of that frozen glass crap. That's bullshit. No, none of that frozen glass crap.
So then, Scotsman, if in Scotland, if somebody ordered up a Natty Boh, would it come out warm?
And pretty much everything comes out warm, brother. Yeah, we don't do that frozen shit back home.
And so, what is a Natty Boh?
Oh, it's a local Maryland, Baltimore beer. It's called National Bohemian. If you've ever seen the Pringles character, I'll try to find a picture and screen share it here in a second. But the logo looks kind of like the Pringles character's face, winking. And I'll go grab a screenshot real quick.
So yeah, Val, for people that don't know about your drawing going on, you want to run through that?
Okay, so I actually have to do another video because things kind of change. So right now, for $100 donation, you're gonna be entered in a raffle. We have a 6-hour Mullen Lab 1911, 6-hour Spartan, 45 ACP. You're gonna get 1,000 rounds of 500 rounds of 45 ACP. I just gotta find them. If not, I'm gonna ship you my stash. You're gonna get a holster, which I was gonna go with Harry's holsters, but somebody's supposedly sending me one. That's this really, really weird bearded gentleman that sits left of you. And then for $20 donations, you're gonna be entered for a set of Oakley Tombstones, which are awesome shooting glasses. Now Warhawk just commented that he's gonna donate a 9mm upper for the AR, complete with the BCG. So I was gonna throw in another one. So for $50, we'll throw you in for the 9mm upper. So this way we're gonna get all different, like whoever can afford what, everybody will get something. Chance to win something. I wish I can send everybody something. When I hit a lotto, I'm gonna send a freaking 1911 to everybody. But right now, this is where we stand, and I think we're doing pretty good because I checked a little while ago. It was like over $2,500 already. Again, thanks to the general, really, really great guy next to you that donated probably his weekly salary. He's probably gonna be on noodles for the whole week. But that just goes to show you the way he is. He'll give you the shirt off his back, Mr. Crazy Scotsman. That's why he's crazy.
We stick together, man. It's what we do.
I really appreciate that.
And all of this is for.
This is my wife's cousin, so she's my basically my goddaughter's mother. Okay, she lost a husband, which was my best friend, 7 years ago to cancer as well. So pretty much the only family my wife has here, and the only family my goddaughter has here. And it's kind of sad because at the same time, this girl lost a husband. Then within the year, she lost her brother to cancer. Her father passed away from cancer back, 30 years ago. So my goddaughter's being like surrounded by cancer negativity all over. So that's why I'm getting all pissed off when people get riled up about the stupid ass COVID. Meantime, we got millions of people dying of cancer, and nobody's doing shit about that. It just grinds my gears because like even Big Al, he said that it just they don't have a cure because they don't want to have a cure because it's a multi-billion-dollar business. They don't want to heal you up. They want to keep you sick so they can just get money off you of the insurance, and it's just ridiculous. And poor girl, first round of chemo didn't do nothing. Second chemo they gave her was so bad that after 2 days she wound up in the emergency room. They were pumping her with the blood because her white blood cell count was real low. So she's like, 60 pounds soaking wet.
Mm.
So hopefully, like I said, I'm just trying to help out the best I can with everything. Yeah, so again, I appreciate it. I thank you, everybody. It doesn't really matter if you donated $20. I appreciate every dollar. I understand that not everybody can afford it. Times are tough with everything going on, and I appreciate people that can afford it and they still gave at least $20. I appreciate those as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Even if you can just do $5, Josh said it earlier in his video, man. Even if you can just do $5, every little bit helps. That's it.
That's what I try to stress to people. If you see a deal right now, you're broke, you don't have much money, but you see a deal right now online that you can get 3 50-round boxes of 9mm for $20. For all 3 boxes, only $20. You would spend that $20, right? A lot of, I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying a lot of you'd spend that $20 right now. So why can't you put that $20 towards this, towards something that matters? You're just going to poke holes in a piece of paper and be done in 30 minutes with that ammo. Put $20 towards this. If you can dig it out, And I'm not accusing everybody of that. I'm just saying, a lot of people say, oh, I don't got no money. Well, put a little bit because you can afford your Netflix and all that bullshit.
Right.
I don't want to see a video in a week from now with your cheap $20 Amazon Red Dot that you ordered whenever you were saying you didn't have no fucking money. But I'll get off that.
No, you're good, man. It's true, man. Every little dollar helps. So it doesn't matter how much you can do, just do what you can.
Yep.
We throw the word community around a lot, and you guys out there watching, most of y'all have been with us for years, and some of y'all are really the best people out there. And we throw that word community out there a lot, and you guys have always come together and helped out, and we're just asking you to help one more time. We all try to help each other out.
Hey, and sharing a link to the video. If you can't donate and your next door neighbor can, share the link with them. That's free. It's easy to do. Didn't cost you anything except for a few little clicks on your mouse or a quick conversation with somebody. Tell them about it. Let them know where it's at. You'd be also surprised. A lot of us might not even know that it's going on. So if you tell people about it, they might not have seen the video. They might not know who Bald is. So tell your friends. That's free.
Yeah,
Plus,
absolutely.
For $100, you get pretty decent chances of winning awesome gun. So if it's gonna be 1 in 100 or 1 in 90 chance of winning, I'll take those out for $100. That's worth it.
Think about how cool you're going to be if you tell your next door neighbor and your next door neighbor is the winner. For the rest of your life, that dude's going to do all kinds of cool stuff for you. And hopefully, anyway. It might be, but still.
And maybe he'll let you shoot it.
And Val, how long is this running till?
It's running till, I believe, December 20th. I said it. This way, I was hoping to have a time to get it out, whoever gets it, before the end of the year. I just gotta figure out some kind of cool way to do an actual rap. We're gonna have to figure something out. And you know what? Like I said, the Warhawk edit stuff. This might get a little bigger by the time it comes. It's only been a couple of days, and I just appreciate it. It was a tremendous response. So I think we're on the right course. It just goes to show how cool everybody is. People are not as bad as everybody thinks. I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I always see a good in people.
Yeah, no, it's everyone here is always made me see that, not everyone's so bad. I hate people. I really do, but you guys are awesome.
Yeah, always see the good in people. Man, I'm just telling you, I think that's a poor life decision on your choice. Because there's nothing good about Josh. I'm just saying. I mean,
So-
He's from Texas.
We can make fun of God.
I've seen a few comments out there like this, but notifications and stuff like that. YouTube did some update and changed some stuff and changed how the videos go. For when you make a video, you do not get to choose whether or not it is age appropriate or not. Now they're doing that on all kinds of stuff. So a lot of people, I'm not getting notifications anymore. I check my feed pretty much daily almost. I don't always get the videos the same day because I've got a lot of people that I watch. So, but it's sad, but you got to go check your feeds more than likely because it's tough. They keep changing stuff, and it's not just gun channels; it's everybody.
Now, I've had a couple months ago, I had 19 channels I was unsubscribed from. And channels like Sandhill Shooter, who I watch every week. And I'm on the panel, used to be on the panel when I didn't have to work as much all the time. So it's not like I was unactive on his channel. Now, maybe I messed up because it happened to me again. And I'm not going to say the number that I've counted so far because it's totally obscene. And I don't want to sound like I'm telling a lie. That's how obscene the number is. But all of you, I've been unsubscribed from in the past week. A whole bunch of channels that I'm constantly in contact with, I've been unsubscribed from.
Yeah.
So now maybe I went through and clicked on subscriptions and was going through some like the old metal detecting channels that don't make videos anymore, different car repair channels, and unsubscribing from them under my subscription page. And that may have been what mass unsubscribed me from a bunch of people. But definitely keep an eye on your notification bell and your subscription list.
well, and I've been doing the same as well. Not a whole bunch, but I go through my subscription list, and it's like, wait a minute. I didn't see this person. I've been getting unsubscribed all over the place from people, and I don't understand what YouTube has done or why they keep doing it. But that's been even worse. And another thing that I've noticed is the bombardment of advertisements, even on channels that I know are not monetized. They're completely not monetized, but if it's a 5-minute video, it's not just a commercial before the video, a commercial after. It's 2 commercials beforehand, 2 commercials 45 seconds into the video, 2 more commercials a minute and a half into the video. It just like riddling videos with advertisement.
Yeah, and a lot of them make skippable too. They're really doubling down.
Yeah, Vanessa Kitty said she actually got a Elvis Ammo notification, and he has been back and making a lot more videos lately. But he has monetized his channel, and that's fine. That's what he wants to do. That's good. But man, they're bombing his videos with advertisements.
That means he's making money. Hopefully.
Hopefully, because he gets a ton of views on that stuff. I really like his channel, the content he produces. There's Daniel.
Hey, Daniel. What, he just woke up from his midday nap? I mean,
In the woods.
it's
He's
not
probably
about,
on.
it's not about number of subscribers. It's all about the view. That's how you make money. But even with 100,000 subs, you're not making a living off the freaking YouTube. That's for sure. Especially if you're a gun channel. If you're like a tech review or something like that, or if you're like a money guy, then it's a different story. But the gun channel or something like that, even with 100,000 subs, you're still making peanuts.
I was just joking about Josh. He didn't need to run away.
Oh, you hurt his feelings. You know how those millennials are. Come on.
I'd like to encourage people that donate to the YouTube channels. Don't donate through YouTube. Like, don't become a YouTube member and don't use the super chat. Find a way. Convince your favorite channel to get a PO box, to get a PayPal account, to get one of those stupid little rechargeable credit cards or whatever. But every time that you send money through YouTube, whether it's the membership or whether it's through super chat, they take a giant cut of it. And the woman, Amy Jehozowski or whatever her name is, came out and said that she's going to donate a ton of money to Black Lives Matter. So when you send your money to your favorite content creator, I'm not saying don't support them. Support them all that you like, but try to find a better way than spending money through YouTube, because YouTube's going to take a big cut of it and send your money to these communists.
Yeah, if somebody wants to support me, I'll put my PayPal address down there.
Yeah, from what I understand, Patreon takes a pretty good chunk out of what you donate to them too.
Yeah, they're all going to take a cut, and I'm not. The only reason I brought up YouTube specifically is I know the details about YouTube. I don't know the politics behind Patreon and PayPal and stuff, except for I know PayPal screwed Scotsman over, and they're dead to me for that.
Yeah, I'll never be able to use PayPal again. It is what it is.
I had nothing but good experience with PayPal. I can't really say one bad thing. I even sold guns and took the payment through PayPal with a credit card, and I told the guy straight up front, we just can't mention it's a gun, and everybody was cool with that. I really had no issues with the PayPal whatsoever so far. So, for me, it's kind of like a rainy fund. Whatever. Usually, when I sell something and money just stays there, that's like if I got nothing else, I always got a few grand stashed away at the PayPal account. Hopefully, that's like But I had absolutely zero bad experience with them. I've been using them for a long time. And now there's the new one, the Venmo. I even set that up, but haven't used it yet. The convenience of the PayPal is that a lot of website takes it as well, and you can link your credit card or your account number to it. So if I don't want to be running from my wallet and reaching for my credit card, I can just do PayPal. Done.
So does anybody here load and shoot 300 blackout?
Not me.
Daniel does.
Daniel does, yeah.
He's out there, but yeah, I'll be getting into it, but not yet.
The first name that comes to mind for me would be Uncle Jim.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, but couldn't really justify buying the whole opera because, like, what the hell I'm going to use it for? I don't hunt.
He probably does, Mike. He probably does.
Yeah, I did some load development for a friend at work, and I've had his upper And it's a Bear Creek. My son just walked in. It's a Bear Creek upper, and I was shocked at how bad it dents the case mouths as it's ejecting. Let me get one. I'll show you. I'll be back in a minute or two.
Hey, I'll be back. That's my line.
Yeah, you sound much better saying it than I do.
Like if I could have suppressor, I would love 300 Blackout. I mean, that thing suppressed, that's got to be awesome. But since I only have one freaking AR, and I can't have a suppressor, there's really no point. I gotta look into the whole thing. I gotta see if I can convince my wife. Maybe, let's go and find like a small house somewhere in Tennessee or North Carolina or somewhere. Buy like a weekend house or something, and maybe slowly transition. Because my daughter's gonna be out of high school in 3 years, and she wants to be a vet. And Tennessee's supposed to have one of the best vet schools in the country. And it's also like you gotta be for a vet like 9 years or something, and that one's only 7. So my neighbor, the guy where I shoot, he actually bought a place in Tennessee, somewhere on the Douglas Lake. He bought the whole fucking island. He's got like 2 miles of shoreline and private boat lounge and all that. Real nice place. He says he's like, half an hour from a butt gun shop. Did that CB by Anchorage in Appalachia, Missouri. I need something within about 12 to 14 hour drive, because anything longer than that, it's freaking, I'll be out of my mind. Like 12 hours, 14 hours, I can pretty much drive straight through. So if I want to go there for a couple of days, a week or something, I could just pack the truck and go. Yeah, Big Al, Oklahoma has several vet schools, including Oklahoma State University. Indiana is nice, but Indiana is cold. If I'm gonna go, I want to go somewhere where I still get winter, preferably, but mild, really mild winter. Someplace I don't need a 4-wheel drive anymore.
Well, positively don't come to Iowa then.
Yeah, I ain't coming to Iowa. It's too freaking windy over
It's
there.
just flipping miserable during the middle of winter.
Hey, nobody wants to be in Iowa. You don't want to be in Iowa. Anna's also doesn't want to be in Iowa.
Let's be honest, just about everywhere sucks in winter.
Not here.
It all depends. It all depends what you do. Like I'm self-employed, so for me, winter, it all depends. Like when I wake up in the morning and we had 2 feet of snow overnight, I'm not going to work. I'm not even attempting going to work because the traffic is going to be horrendous. I'm going to spend more time in the car than actually working. So even if I'm doing a job for somebody, I'm just going to call them. I'm not coming till tomorrow. That just absolutely no sense.
No. You see, Josh works on his abs all winter long because he walks around in board shorts and flip-flops and laughs at the rest of us.
Hey, listen,
I am not.
You got to look
I'm
at
not
this
even
way.
joking. I'm not even joking. Last winter season, I think it was 85% of the days in winter hit 80 degrees for a high.
Oh. Yeah,
80%, 85% of the days.
Hey, Alan, listen. Why would you want to have a 6-pack when you can tap a keg?
How do you survive a brutal winter like that, Josh? That just sounds unbearable.
I mean, you just gotta prep, man, and yeah, it's tough, dude. It's rough.
Talcum powder so that your balls don't stick to your thigh.
Pretty much.
Somebody once told me that instead of that, you should use a Vaseline. This way, everything would slide easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mario Moses, he shivers when he sees all that snow on the news. And it's funny because I work with Ecuadorian guys. And let's say these guys just got here. They never saw snow in their life. And the first winter, and they're like trying to catch the snowflakes, like all mesmerized by the snow. I'm like, yeah, just wait till we have 2 feet of that shit. you're gonna be bored.
I'm not even.
Well, I
I'm not
think
even.
Milcert Mike is jumping out and or has already jumped out, but he is also doing a giveaway on his channel, on his AK-74 video, his latest AK-74 video. So you want a chance at a knife? Leave a comment on that. I just needed to throw that out there for a second. Go ahead, Josh.
Oh no, I was just bullshitting about the winter stuff. No, I'm not even exaggerating. I've seen snow 2 times in my entire life. 2 times.
So what you're saying, you don't know what the skis look like?
They don't. You can't even buy skis here. Like that's doesn't exist, man. Now we had snow. The first time I saw snow was it actually hadn't snowed, and the snow actually stayed on the ground for 100 years. And it actually snowed on Christmas Eve and Christmas, which was a freaking miracle. And then a couple of years ago, it snowed again. That's the only 2 times we've ever had snow actually sit on the ground. And it doesn't stay on the sidewalks. There's no ice or nothing. It melts as soon as it touches the sidewalk. So it's perfectly on the grass, like cut out with your driveway and everything. It doesn't stay on the sidewalks or the street. It's too warm. So
no shoveling.
No what?
No shoveling.
No, yeah, no. Hell no, we wouldn't shovel that. We're too busy like making snow angels and throwing snowballs and shit. Like we would not shovel that. That's like something precious.
Yeah,
Like,
you see snow so little that you actually enjoy it. You don't have to live and work in it and actually have to deal with it. And I understand that. I used to live just outside of Kingman, Arizona, and it was very much the same way. The only the number of years that I lived there, it was only once or twice that it snowed, and it was just enough to go, hey, look, it's snowing. Let's go out in the Jeep and play in it. And we'd go out, do donuts out in the snow in the desert, screw around a little bit, and then it was gone the next day. So no big deal, you know. But it was just enough time to play in it, not enough to dread it coming like it happens here in Iowa.
but it's weird, the way
in the winter you can just add more clothing so you keep warm. In the heat like they have over there, there's only so many clothes you can take off, and you're still sweating the balls off. So, you know, it's got its pros and cons.
You actually have to wear more clothes down here in the heat because you will die. Like everybody thinks, you know, the cowboys that, you know, they wear the big straw hats and the button-up long sleeve shirts and all that shit. No, that's how we actually dress, and it's not a fashion statement. It's so we don't freaking die. Because if you expose your skin to the heat down here, you're going to get a heat stroke if you're working outside. Like there's just no way around it. You have to be completely covered up from head to toe. It's crazy.
The Arab nations are like that too. They wear the full kind of gowns, if you want to call it that, you know, because if not, the sun will just destroy your body.
Yeah, have their heads covered, everything. You have to. You would die.
There was a joke about it when a Arab son asked his father, like, "Dad, why do you wear that white robe?" Because, well, it's gonna protect me from the desert sun. Oh, okay, so why you got a towel around your head? He goes, again, it protects me from a desert sun. And what about the sandals? Well, that's so I can walk in a sand. He goes, yeah, but you're in the Dearborn, Michigan.
That's funny. And the inch of snow is interesting. Anything over a foot of snow, you got to start figuring out where you're going to put it. And when you got 4 feet of snow, that like 2 or 3 years ago, we got a snowstorm that came 4 feet, and 3 days later, we got another 4 feet. So when you got to figure out what to do with all that stuff, that's a real pain in the neck.
I got 2 acres. I got plenty of room.
My
All I have to
sister,
do is
when she
clean the driveway.
when my sister was living in Alaska, they were actually trapped indoors for 2 months every year, where their house was just completely covered in snow. Like the snow was as high or higher than their house, so you couldn't even open the door for 2 months.
Nice. It's a good insulation. I bet they didn't
For
need a
them,
whole lot.
I ain't doing that shit.
You know.
Jerry's Wood Shop. Are you talking about those filter cans that you buy off a Wish? You know, the Napa fuel filter cans.
Allegedly, you can do that with almost any filter as long as you've got the right adapters. You don't need
No,
to.
he's talking about that it's like a filter, but it's not drilled, and they call it a solvent trap. But you buy it from China or whatever, and you can take the whole thing apart and drill it through once you get your tag stamp to create a suppressor. But since it's not drilled, you can buy it directly online. But I heard the news, the ATF has been cracking up on that, so I'd be careful.
Yeah, you gotta serialize it, the whole 9 yards, send all your paperwork in, wait for your paperwork to come back before you can drill it out.
In other words, if you're planning to do anything, I would buy it at a gun show and pay cash for it.
They did a bust on one of these factories or something like that shipped out a bunch of those. The feds went and scooped them all up about maybe a month ago, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good option if you want to save some money, but you still gotta do all the tax stamp stuff and wait for it before you can even touch it. So
yeah, it's not gonna be no Microtech suppressor either. I mean, you get what you pay for.
yeah, and it will depend on what you want it for too. I mean, you can find good suppressors out there for $600, $700, $800. You know, not terrible for what you're getting.
Well, not that I ever tried it, but I heard a plastic bottle with some insulation, and it actually does a pretty good job for 1 or 2 shots. That's what I was told. I have no idea if it's true.
Pretty much anything that you can put baffles in, it will suppress it. That's basically what it is. But if you do it without paperwork, that's all you, man. You're going for a whole nother section of
Yeah, it's just a muffler. It's just like a muffler on your car, but it's extremely heavily regulated. That's where the majority of the money is at. Now, I'm not saying that there's not a boatload of machining that goes into like Silencer Co. products, Dead Air products, whatever. But I don't think what the product actually is how much that they ask for them. I just don't. You're still going to be paying a chunk of money to the feds just to be able to buy the thing anyway. And so why is this aluminum can with baffles $900? I don't think there's that much in machining to justify that.
The prices are up there on purpose so to try and stop people from buying them. That's the thing. It's the same with machine guns and stuff like that. You know, you can buy them, but you got to have cash.
Yeah, but it's also, you have to understand that $900 for the suppressor, that also has to cover the development, fees that had to go to ATF and whatnot. So let's say the suppressor is $900, and the actual manufacturing cost is $250. It's probably, you got to figure another $250 into it for all the other BS. Plus, then they got to make a profit, distribution, blah blah blah. So it adds up real fast. There's stuff like this. There's a lot of people making money off it, and that's all trickles down to the customer.
It's definitely highly regulated, and just be careful. I mean, if you're gonna do one of those solvent traps, by all means do it, but just bear in mind you gotta wait for your paperwork to come back before you can touch it with a drill.
Yeah. which is kind of stupid if you think about it, because most of the places in the world you buy suppressor no problem. They got they have a harder time getting guns, but they can just buy suppressors. Because everybody knows that every mass murder goes out there with a freaking suppressor and kills millions of people with that. And it's so easy to conceal carry with the suppressor.
Yeah.
Is that suppressor in your pants, or are you happy to see me?
Yeah, Chris, I get it. CNCs are not inexpensive, and the machinists that run them are not inexpensive either. That's what my father did for a living. Pretty much my entire childhood was run CNC machines. But to me, it just doesn't. It still, the product itself, I understand. Okay, they have to get a lot of stuff. It's just like taking any kind of pistol and putting it through all the government bullshit that they have to make it go through in order to be able to sell that product to the public.
Well, don't the European nations require hunters to have suppressors on their rifles when they're hunting?
In some places, yeah.
I don't think they require them, but some. I know, like in Slovakia, the suppressors are regulated as well. But I know, like Sweden, you don't have to. I know South Africa, you buy them right off the shelf.
Well, now that kind of leads to my question: in the nations like that, are they just as expensive? Like if you go to South Africa, where they're bought off the shelves, are they $900 off the shelves, or are they $20?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to it.
Yeah. As far as how hard is it to drill one out, you really need a jig so you don't screw it up. They make jigs out there as well. Most of the companies that sell them actually sell the jigs too. So,
all right, Jamie, no ice.
Hard, but you got to make sure you do it right.
And criminals, if you're talking about criminals, they know where to get suppressors at. They don't have to drill suppressors. They just get real suppressors.
Or they just make them. Or they make them. They'll make them out of anything. They'll make them out of PVC pipe, for God's sake.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Smell the difference, Val?
You can definitely feel the aroma more than with the ice in it. I mean, there's no question about it. Absolutely, it hits your nose. I'm gonna drink this one without the ice, so we'll see.
The taste will hit you here in a minute too.
Yeah. What's the saying? If it doesn't heat you up and cool you down at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, criminals by very nature are not law-abiding citizens. Absolutely, criminals doesn't care. I'm surprised they're not buying all the Polar 80s. But then again, they're probably too dumb to actually know how to put it together.
And I've been thinking about that lately about, criminals don't follow the law, all that crap. Okay, we already know all that. Do you think that's a detriment to the gun community when you think about it? Because we are law-abiding citizens, and we don't want to break the laws. We want to stay within the boundaries of the laws. And whenever they keep making these infringements and new laws that are bullshit, we hate it. We get pissed off, but our nature is to follow the laws. And as a community, we keep following those laws. And do you think that's a problem? Maybe we need to start being a little bit more like these people that are thinking outside the box. And, we don't like these people rioting and burning shit down and everything like that. But for gun owners, for us, being that we're such law-abiding citizens and doing everything by the word, if we won't step across the lines and break the laws, even if they're not supposed to be laws, they're not constitutional. It's like we err too far on the side of not breaking the laws, and they don't give a shit, where it's just leaving us in a screwed situation to where we're always following the rules, what we're dictating.
I think a lot of it too is we say we don't like the laws, but how many of us are calling our senators and representatives every day and getting on the phone with them, sending them letters every week? staying on top of them. We might send one or two, and then we just go quietly in the wind. That's not going to change anything. We got to stay on top of them.
Well, not only that, but criminals don't care if they go to jail. I personally do care. I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
So, you have to understand you're dealing with the people that have a screwed up moral compass. I mean, you got thugs in New York City that they'll blow your head off without blinking twice. You got people willing to come to your house, kick your door in the middle of the night, rape your women, and make you watch, and then murder you just for fun. So, those are not even criminals. Those are like deranged humans.
Oh, and here I was going to say that sounded like Down Home Family Entertainment.
You got
But see, that's what I'm saying. These people are getting away with it, and then the laws are being bent into their favor. They're getting, they have their mayors like just letting them, do whatever they want in the cities and basically anarchy, run their own rules, and they're having influence on what rules are made for their cities. Where we're stepping back and we're like, no, we got to follow these rules, and it's kind of going backwards for us, So that's what I meant by that is. We follow the rules too much, and they don't give a shit about the rules, and they're getting their way, and we're getting stomped on at the same time.
But at the same time, though, if we go out there and do anything about it, then the media is going to make us look bad, and that's what they want. They want us to. They're trying to draw us out to do stupid stuff and make bad decisions. It's going to make us look bad. Then they can go, oh look what the gun owners did. It's a two-way street. We got to be real careful with that one.
Yeah.
Well, and they'll monopolize on the gun owner making a mistake as much as they possibly can, and then beat on it some more. They'll take any instance that they can and blow it completely out of proportion, and use that as the example that needs to be set for the entire nation.
That dirty communist shot the Trump supporter point blank range in Portland or Seattle or whatever, and he was their hero. Kyle Rittenhouse defended himself pretty darn well, and he's the bad guy.
Yep, and that's what they do every time.
And so we can't actually hold our ground even legally. Even though we're doing everything abiding by the law, even though we're staying within the law, we still end up the villains. No matter how it ends up, we're still going to end up being the villains.
Well, imagine like New York State, you can't even buy a concealed carry insurance. I used to have a USCCA until they canceled it because of our beloved governor basically kicked them out. So supposedly they're doing something about it now, but I can't buy insurance. So God forbid you have to use the gun. You're on your own. Which USCCA was great for me. For $500, you get the bestest like a platinum package that covers everything, and it's not that it just gives you peace of mind. God forbid something happen, I'm not going to lose everything I have because I tried to save my life.
Well, you're a gun owner, so you're a terrorist.
Yep.
That's the way they look at you. They did it out in San Francisco, and once again, just like yeah, definitely. I'm smooth shaven, man. I definitely don't fit the bill. If I tried to grow a beard, I'd probably I could walk around with a cup in my hand and people would give me donations all day because I'd look like a homeless guy. But as long as you're a gun owner, then you're the NRA. And if you're the NRA, the left thinks you're a terrorist.
Problem is
And how we got to this point. Yeah, you go through and see how they've spun it. How do we get it back to logical is another question altogether different.
Well, one of the things, the number one thing is don't play that game. Like we talked about a little earlier. If you see a riot, don't call it civil unrest. Don't call it a peaceful protest. Call it what it is. Call it a riot. You know, there's so many. I always bring it back to the gun thing. Assault weapon. You know, that happened before my time. You know, so I couldn't really stop it. But allowing the term assault weapon to get its feet on the ground allowed now all of our guns are assault weapons. Any semi-automatic magazine-fed firearm to the left of the anti-gunners is an assault weapon. And we're stuck with that. We're stuck with that as long as we say it, then we're going to be stuck with it. The more we continue to say civil unrest, unrest in the streets, a guy that's got pink hair now is a girl. When we feed into their narrative and their word burning is what I call it. They used to burn books, now they're just burning words. Then that's where we lose at. When they control the conversation and the way we speak, we can't beat them. You know, so as long as assault weapons a thing, we've lost that one. As long as it's civil unrest and not a riot. And even now, like a lot of people give me a hard time. When you go out and you got your Black Lives Matter sign and you're not burning anything down, that's not a peaceful protest. It's not. And I get it, free speech and all that. People give me a hard time all about that. The past 4 months, everybody that had your sign was burning the cities down. So now that you just don't have a can of matches in your hand, why should I trust you? I see what your side is about. You're a rioter waiting to happen. You're not a peaceful protester. You're not interested in debate. You're not interested in the meeting of minds and trying to find a middle ground. So you are not a peaceful protester. When we feed into that because we're trying to be nice and we're trying to be positive and all this kind of stuff that we are naturally, because that's our moral makeup, they're going to destroy.
You know, when a U-Haul truck shows up and it's got everything loaded in there ready for them to go, it's not a peaceful protest.
Yep. Half the shit is set up. That's like, you know, and then you got Black Lives Matter, and most of the protesters or rioters are white privileged kids. Like, give me a freaking break, you know.
We have to take. We got to start taking a stand, and I'll bring it back to the transgender. This is just my opinion, nobody else's opinion. My opinion's based on facts. So if you get mad at me and nobody else. There's two types of transsexuals. There's hermaphrodites who are born with a birth defect that they have to figure out what they're going to do in their life. Are they going to live as a woman, live as a man? And then there's people with gender dysphoria. That's a mental condition. Every single person else that says they're trans is just a liar. There is no such thing as multiple genders. And if we feed into that, because who cares what they do? They're adults, and they're not going to push it on us. It's been getting pushed on us for 30, 40, 50 years. And we just kept sitting back saying they can do whatever they want behind their closed doors. It's not affecting me. Well, yeah, it is, because now look at where we're at. Now look at where we're at. They got trannies twerking in front of preschool kids at libraries, you know, training reading day or whatever they call it. The 1619 Project, we talked about it earlier. They're going to teach your little kids in school that if they got white skin, they're inherently racist. You know, so not everything is okay. And just because it's not bothering me what they do behind closed doors, I get it. I'm as pro to consenting adults as you're going to find out there. But just because you're a dude and you think you're a girl, that's fine. I'll call you Sally. If you change your name to Sally, I'll call you that. But I will never, ever call you a woman. Never.
Well, not only that, but percentage-wise, how many people are born with that defect opposed to all the other people in the world? So they always say that you have to do it for the greater of the good. So why does the majority have to get used to the minority, what they want? That's what I have a problem with. Okay, I mean, you're gay. I got no issues with that. Don't force that shit on me. End of story. You know, I was at a party. I was drinking New Year's Eve a couple of years ago. I'm drinking with these two cool dudes all freaking night. End of the night, like 1 o'clock in the morning, somebody tells me they're the couple. I'm like, cool. I got absolutely no issues because I had no idea they were. They never brought it up. They never forced that shit on me. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with them adopting a kid either, but don't try to turn it into normal that okay, now you have a gay parade and this and that, and you know what, just because you're gay, you're something better. That's what they're trying to turn this shit into. It's the same thing with the genders and all the other crap. Like, they being normal, white, middle-aged, overweight American is no good anymore. It means you're weird. So
Well,
basically, except of Josh,
Yeah, it's the whole part of that whole indoctrination thing, man.
it goes back to what you were talking about earlier, Val, about the safety net and the welfare, and there's that safety net there for people who are born with that birth defect. There's doctors, there's counselors, there's places out there that help those people. Same thing with the people who have gender dysphoria, mental condition. There's people out there, there's scientists out there and counselors that will help you throughout your life. Plus, you got your family. But when everybody at 3 years old says, "I'm a boy, I'm a girl, I'm nothing, I'm everything," that takes away from the people that actually need help. And if you want to talk about trans bashing, I think that's disgusting. You definitely shouldn't do that. But it gets drowned out when somebody puts Kool-Aid in their hair and says that they're non-binary now, and we make fun of them. That's trans bashing now. When there's somebody out there that really needs help because they're trying to figure out what to do with their lives. Statistically, people who identify as trans are the highest suicide rates in the country.
That's why they quit performing the operations in Canada a while back, is because they found that out, and then they said, no, we just need to give mental counseling and help them out. We need to quit. And they quit doing those surgeries. I don't know if they started doing them again, but for the longest time, even up to recently, they would not perform the surgeries in Canada because they realized that people, they ended up offing themselves because they just weren't happy. They needed mental help, not to have a surgery to change their gender,
Yep, absolutely. Guys, it's been an absolutely freaking awesome chat. Lots of good topics. I do have to go to work, so we're going to start going through the room. We'll start with Josh. What you got, brother?
I got nothing, man. You'll just see some random crap that pops into my mind, and I'll jump on the camera and won't edit it or nothing, and I'll start ranting and bullshitting, and y'all can put up with it if y'all want. Y'all can unsubscribe if y'all want, but you'll see me.
Best way to do it, man.
Hell yeah.
Jamie, what you got, brother?
I'm going to have to do an unboxing video. I put it off way too long. I got these boxes stacking up in here. I got no room to reload or anything else. But remember, we're bringing attention to the fact that you need to go help Val, and you need to go to the polls and vote in person. Don't do this mail thing. Other than that, I enjoy spending time with you guys. Thanks for the link. Scotsman, thanks for having me. Thanks for putting up with me. Y'all have a blessed week, guys.
Absolutely, man. Always good to have you. Val.
Another week. Thank you for having me here. Great chat, great points. God bless everybody that donate. Actually, God bless everybody. It doesn't matter if you donate or not. Even if you just say a prayer, God bless you, and drink your bourbon.
Yep, absolutely. Kingpin.
Always great to be on the show. It's an honor to be with this panel and everybody in the chat. I think the best of all of you people. If I'm wrong about it, just let me be wrong. And I'll put the link out for Rich White. He's live right now over in the Unloaded Media channel, so hop over there and check him out next.
Awesome. Good deal. Again, guys, it's been an awesome chat. Lots of good discussion. Lots of good comments out there. And thank you to everyone that jumped over and helped support Val. And, if you can't do it this week, maybe next week, whenever you can, we've got plenty of time. So do the best you can. Like I said, any little bit helps, whether it be $5, whatever you can spare. It's a huge help. With that being said, I'll turn it over to Alan.
All right. Yeah, another one in the can tonight. Thank you, everybody, for showing up out in the side chat. And it's been excellent out there. It's good to see so many people out there. and having open discussions. You know, we can discuss, and we don't have to agree. We could disagree. It doesn't matter, but it's good to have the discussions, even if it's some of the hard stuff. Absolutely appreciate the panel. It's always good to see Josh. Always good to see Val. The thing for Val is posted out in the side chat for his how do you pronounce the name? Valor Rondia. Yeah, very, very good cause there. Very good cause. Again, vote in person. This depends on it. It absolutely depends on it. We don't want that turning into whatever they want it to become. It's good to hear so much from Kingpin tonight. I greatly appreciate everybody on the panel. And just to remind you, keep your magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Thanks, everybody.